This old man hit on me in front of my mom. Story time. Before I start off this video, I just want to say, Mom, I'm sorry you made a bad bitch. I'm sorry that shit always happens every time we fucking hang out. It's getting quite annoying. Last Sunday, as we all know, it was Mother's Day. I decided to get my mom's nails and feet done. Then I took her to dinner, like the angel I am. We're sitting there at dinner, minding our own business, bonding, having a great time. By the way, you can see our table from the street. So this random ass car pulls up, drives hella slow, breaks his neck just to see me and my mom. And I'm just like, okay. Didn't think much of it, and then finally our food comes. Not 2 minutes later, 2 minutes after receiving our food, this old ass man runs up to me talking about oh my god, you're so beautiful, I just had to tell you. Like, sir, I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to eat. And he starts asking me out, asking me for my number. I kept telling him no, I got a boyfriend, and he's old as fuck. So he literally pulled out his whole ass business card and said, here, call me. Then he finally left. Then he came back harassing me again. And then he told me, oh, by the way, my name's Vincent. I said, my name's Benzie. And then later that night, I had a Vincent follow me on Instagram. I just made a lady get in a fight with her boyfriend. Story time. Ooh, I know y'all missed that. So I was just here chilling in my car like so. And my break was about to be over, so I walked out of my car. And at the time, this car was not here. Anyways, as I was doing that, this lady pushed her shopping cart into the empty parking lot. And apparently, me opening the door to get out of my car scared her. And she literally yelled at me. She yelled at me. For what? For what? She really said, you gave me a fucking heart attack. You don't sneak up on people like that. Then she literally just started going on and on and on about how you don't scare people. And right before she walked away, she really said, you're lucky I could have hit you. Like, bitch, I wish you fucking would. I didn't even say anything. I was just shocked at the fact that I was literally getting yelled at for walking out of my car. Like, please, bitch, I wish you would have hit me. I could have sued you for that motherfucking Mercedes that you were driving. Missed opportunities. Anyways, right when she walked away, the cart started rolling towards her car. And literally right before it hit her car, I grabbed the cart because I'm nice. Hear that, Karma? Anyway, she looked at me with disgust and she was like, you didn't have to do that. I would have grabbed the cart. I walked away and I heard her boyfriend go off on her for being rude. I hate boys! Story time. So I posted this cute ass motherfucking selfie on my Snap. I was looking like a whole ass meal, bitch. I looked like I was on my hot girl summer type shit. Well, this one guy swiped up and he was like, damn, ma, you looking hella fine. And I messaged him back and I was like, don't you have a girlfriend? Because 2 days prior to him swiping up, he was posted up with a boo thing talking about I love you. He messaged me back and he was like, nah, we broken up. And I was like, well, does your girlfriend know you're broken up? Because this guy is known for cheating, right? And he's like, no, like we're done. And I said, regardless, you guys had just broken up and I don't feel comfortable texting you. So then he gets mad and he blocks me, which I don't care because that boy sus anyways. 10 minutes later, I get an ad on Snapchat from his ex. She tries popping off on me talking about why are you messaging my man, blah, 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 blah. I was like, sis, he messaged me and I wasn't even engaging in anything. Of course, she didn't believe me, so I sent her the screenshots and then she left me on scene. 3 hours later, she posts on her Snapchat, I love this man. Nothing could ever get between our relationship. Anyways, my pad fell out in front of my boyfriend and his family. Story time. So y'all remember when your girl was evacuated? Well, I remember that, and it was not fun time. It was quite tragic, actually. We're living out of the trailer. We kept on moving back and forth because that fire kept getting closer to us everywhere we went. Let's not forget the fact that I had to drive 2 hours to work. Other than that, it was quite delicious. Anyways, when we first got evacuated and we were packing our shit together, there was some essentials that I forgot to pack. AKA my pad. So I had just gotten off of work and I was driving on my way back to the trailer. An hour into the drive, I get this terrible cramp. Ladies, you know the feeling. And I realized I started my cycle. When I got back to the trailer, I didn't have anything I could use. So your girl had to use the old reliable TP. Ladies, don't act like you never had to do this before either. I changed out of my clothes, used the TP. I was walking out to go to the store. As I was walking, right in front of my boyfriend's parents, toilet paper balls. What made it worse is my boyfriend thought it was poop. He made fun of me at first and then he felt bad. I ran away crying. I almost killed my best friend. Story time. Ooh, it feels hella weird saying that. Story time. Story time. Story time. Oh, not the laugh. Okay, anyways, every Friday after our 10+ hour crusty ass shift at work, me and my bestie always go to Chick-fil-A and then we go to Dutch Bros after. So we go to Chick-fil-A, we go to Dutch, we get our food and our drink and we're feeling real good. I'm driving back and I decide to be quirky and I'm like, oh my god, let's stop at this lookout spot. Because I wanted to be all cute and be like, oh my god, let's take pictures of the stars. Let's like stargaze. Like, who lets me make decisions? Because bad shit always happens. So I park, and keep in mind, this is on a cliff. We're only sitting there for about 10 minutes, and then all of a sudden, this guy starts charging towards my car. So I notice him, and I scream. I'm like, oh! And then I lock my car, because I don't know if he had a gun or whatever. And then he walks to my car and knocks on the window. And I'm like, oh, hell no, this cannot be happening to me. My friend sitting in the passenger seat laid down, thinking that the guy can't see him. And I'm just staring at this guy like, ooh. As he's staring at me, he puts something up to the window. And I think he's about to shoot us. Ew, I have to make a part 2. I'm so sorry. I almost killed my best friend. Story time. Part 2. So the guy's at my window, right? And he's knocking. I'm just just sitting there scared as fuck, like, oh my god, what the fuck does he want? Like, is he trying to kidnap me? Is he trying to steal from me? Does he want to ride? Does he want to ride? If you know what I mean. And my friend's not being any help. He's just laying there acting like he's invisible. I felt like I was in this alone. So the whole time I'm staring at this guy, I'm just thinking, how the hell am I gonna get out of this? Because if I did a 3-point turn, which is how I would have to leave, what if he pulled out his Glock? Gra-da-da-da, like, Jamal, don't pull out the 9. So I made the executive decision to roll down my friend's window. I rolled down my window and asked, sir, do you need help with something? This man really asked, do you need some tree? After he asked me that, I was so relieved. But I was so angry. Like, how did I get so afraid of the local drug dealer? After that, I said no, and then I sped off. And then I almost hit a deer, and then swerved into oncoming traffic, and then swerved right back into my lane. God was testing me that day, I swear to Bob. And that is how I almost killed my best friend. Period. There was a fire at my job. Story time. So there I was, just working, trying to get that coin. And 15 minutes before I get out of work, there was a fire. The janitor comes up to me and he's like, we gotta evacuate. Not gonna lie, at first I thought he was joking. I literally laughed at him and went back to typing. And then I saw the police get there and I was like, oh, he's serious. So I grabbed my things and I left the building, as I should, obviously. I'm not trying to die, you know? I'm too cute for that. So then I get outside and I'm talking to one of the doctors because, you know, I work at a clinic. And then I realized I left my lunchbox and I just got super depressed because I was like, food over everything. And I was ready to risk it all. I was ready to risk it all for that food. I actually did try to go back in, but then the security guard was like, you can't go back in. Turn around. But you know that saying, no man left behind? Well, in my case, it's no food left behind. So I waited in the cold for about 30 minutes because it was the weekend and I wouldn't have been able to get it until Monday. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm not trying to clean out a nasty smelling lunchbox. No, thank you. Also, tell me why fires keep following me. It's literally December. Why is there fires? Who has the hex on me? This guy followed me and took pictures of me inside a Walmart. Story time. So this happened about 2.5 weeks ago. And the first mistake I made was I went to Walmart. When does anything good ever happen at Walmart? Like, honestly, every time I go, something happens. Anyways, the second mistake I made was looking like a whole ass main character of a Hallmark movie. A Hallmark movie. Like, look at me. I was looking like a bad bitch, but also like fresh meat. Next time I should be very careful and look like a scrub. Well, anyways, I was just shopping and vibing, getting followed without even noticing. You know, all the normal stuff. Then I decided to turn in the shampoo section. All I gotta say is I'm so happy that the person I was with realized that someone was following us, because my dumb ass wouldn't have even known. So as this guy is taking pictures of us, the person I was with literally turns around and they're like, hey, stop being a weirdo, I'm taking pictures. Then the guy takes his phone and puts it to his ear, acts like someone was calling him. Sir, you ain't slick. As soon as that happened, I was like, fuck this. And I just left the store because I was like, I'm not trying to have someone follow me. And tell me why when we left the store, he did too. So I ran into my car, locked the doors, and I just drove off. Real tough being one of God's favorites. This man pulled down his pants and peed right in front of me. Story time. Okay, so I told you guys I work at a clinic, and about a month ago, I was COVID screening at the door. Well, this crusty man came in trying to use the bathroom. And I was like, sir, I can't let you in the facility unless you have an appointment. He was like, no, I'm just trying to use the bathroom. Let me in the fucking bathroom. And then he tries to walk past me. But luckily, security was there and they kicked him out. And I thought that was the end of it until I was talking to security and I turned my head. And right outside the window, I see that musty crackhead whip out his eggplant and start peeing on the window. It was a very unpleasant sight. What made this even worse is the fact that he peed right in front of the pediatric side of the clinic. If I was a parent at that clinic, I would have been pissed. So security ends up chasing the crackhead, but he got away, and then he ended up calling the cops. Tell me why that crackhead was so stupid he came back to go to the pharmacy, which is right next door to the clinic. And right when he got to the pharmacy, the cops showed up and arrested him. Moral of the story, don't pee in front of a clinic. I thought I was gonna get kidnapped yesterday. Story time. So I got off work at 6. And at this time, it's already dark as hell outside because I missed daylight savings. And God knows I'm afraid of the dark, so I ran my ass to the car, locked the doors, and drove off. As I was driving, I heard this weird noise. I thought it was my heater, so I was sitting in the car like, what the hell is this? God, you're really telling me I gotta spend money on a new heater? So I turned off my heater, and turns out it wasn't my heater. And I was just sitting there like, what the hell is that noise? So I'm looking around and I see this note underneath my windshield. Right as I see this note, I also see this car tailgating me. This car was so close, I thought it was a cop. Then I start freaking out because I think this car's following me. And on top of that, my friend had just told me about this new sex trafficking thing where they leave a note on your car. When you pick up the note to read it, that's when they steal you. Well, in my head, that's what I thought was going on. And I just sat in my car driving and crying like, I don't want to get stolen. So I tried to call my boyfriend, and of course, the call doesn't go through. So then I switched lanes to see if they were following me. And sure enough, they switched lanes too. So then I decided to pull into this gas station. And they pulled into it too. Turns out the guy was actually trying to get gas. And the note was for tamales.
My mother-in-law has hated me since day one because I grew up in a single-family household, and she told my husband that he deserved to be with someone who came from a two-parent household. For 4 years, I bit my tongue trying to get her to like me. When we got engaged, she tried to dictate my whole wedding, not offering to pay for anything. When I decided I didn't want kids at the wedding, she flipped and told me I was selfish, that the wedding isn't for me, that I'm tearing her family apart, and that I'm ruining her life. Day of the wedding, she causes a scene because my mom danced with me and my husband, stealing her spotlight. My husband and her get into a fight, he storms away, and then she pushes me. I push her off, and then she lunges at me, going for my throat. She's literally trying to choke me at my wedding. All because I tried to grab my husband.